What's going on, guys? Keegs and Ben here, back at you with the part 2, talking about our zone breakdown. So, where did they rank on the best zones to the worst zones? If you didn't catch our first video, I suggest you go back and watch that one, but if you don't want to do that, then no problem, just look at the screen and you can see exactly where we ranked the first half of zones in Hollow Knight Silksong. So, moving on, we have the Mist. How did you feel about the Mist? This is kind of an interesting zone.
This is also a D tier for me.
Yeah.
I like the idea and concept. I don't think it's executed very well.
Where are you going in here?
Probably under Sinner's Road, but above Biowater, yeah. It's like, I actually do like the aesthetic of this. It's really creepy. And I like the idea of making use of the needle loin here to show you where to go. But the thing is that if you get unlucky with the RNG of the ghosts, I feel like it's really difficult to make that happen. And like navigating it is really annoying. And I'm an idiot when it comes to pattern recognition in these sorts of games. So it took me a while before I realized I had to play the needle loin to even figure out where I was going.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy the experience, and it sucks because at the end of it is, one of my top bosses in the entire game. So
yeah, I feel very similarly. I thought the zone was more annoying than anything. It wasn't even that hard. Sometimes if I got bad RNG with the ghosts and things, I would literally just be like, all right, I'm just going to go. I'm going to pop through to the next area. It'll randomly regenerate another room for me, and then I can hopefully have better RNG and play the needle in there, which is kind of how I got through it pretty quickly, but I still don't think it was fun. The ghosts weren't fun to fight either. They weren't even particularly hard, they just weren't fun. And then I like the concept of having to use the needle in, but I feel like there could have maybe been a better way to do that, whereas, I don't know, maybe they unlock something so that you don't have to keep... I don't know how to make it better, but I just didn't think it was super fun. I'm with you, though. Probably right in there. I think it was better than Sinner's Road because I didn't like Sinner's Road. But up next, though, we have the Blasted Steps. How do you feel?
it's interesting because I feel like this is like technically guilty of some of the other criticisms I have, but I feel like here it worked better because it's not that big of a zone. It's like one like main shaft that you kind of weave through and climb up. So I think it's actually quite cool. Aesthetics are 10 out of 10. It almost feels like, so you can run into this place before you've completed Shellwood. I don't know how far you can actually progress, but it feels like you're not supposed to be here in a really cool way.
Yes, absolutely. I figured out very quickly that I wasn't supposed to be there.
So to me, yeah, I'm going to put this at the top of A.
Oh, nice.
Really cool.
I liked it too. I agree with you. I thought it was super cool. The enemies were fun. The little rock drill enemies felt so perfect in that zone. They felt like they fit very well. The zone itself was fun, and there was a lot of different paths to explore. The only thing I didn't love was the, like, if you try to go all the way to the left, the game stops you and it's like, no, I have to go back. And I'm like, why? You just like giving me hope that there's a path here, and then just cut me down.
I know. When I first went, when I first went there, I was like, oh, there's another path here, and then it's like, nah, there's not. The only thing bad about this zone is the run back to Last Judge. Other than that, it's really fun.
Yeah.
The platforming's fun.
Even the run back, I thought got better because I got so good at it, and it felt kind of smooth to run through it. And anytime I had to go back, I was so fast. Anytime I had to get through Blasted Steps.
Yeah, it was definitely, it prepared me for the Biowater, which is way more irritating to me, even if it's probably the same length.
Yeah, I think I liked Farfield's just a little bit more still, but it's definitely, I think, an A-tier zone. I was super impressed with it. The next zone, though, is the Grand Gate. Is this even a zone? There's like, what are you doing?
I feel like calling this a zone is a stretch. Like, I wouldn't even really call Weave Nest Alta a zone either.
Yeah, I guess it is on the map as Grand Gate, but there's literally nothing there. I'm looking at the interactive map right now. It's just a spool. One single spool shard is the only thing there, and then it's the big tower that you have to climb, which is not difficult. I don't know how to rank this because it's not really a zone, so I guess we're just going to put it in C. I don't know.
I almost don't even want to rank it because it just doesn't feel like a zone. It feels like it's just part of Underworks or the Choral Chambers. Like, it doesn't feel like its own thing. It's really cool.
Are you abstaining from ranking it?
Yeah, I'm going to abstain. I just feel like calling this a zone is like, yeah, it gets a title card and all that stuff, but I don't know.
Well, how did you feel about the Underworks then?
Man, again, like, I'm being very hypocritical, but I actually really loved the Underworks. Yeah. It's so, like, grimy, but it's not gross, and the hazards are really cool. Like, they're just, like, saw blades and stuff, and it's, like mechanically not that complicated, but The whole aesthetic is really cool. The story that it's telling is cool, especially when you discover the higher areas. Like here, it's like the underbelly, like the kind of like worker class people like doing stuff. The benches you have to pay for. I think there's like another thing
Oh,
where
I
like
forgot you had to pay for the bench every time, didn't you?
Yeah, there's like a
That was
rosary
so annoying.
dispenser thing that just like gives you advice or whatever, and it's like barely the pay that they get. It's like a very small amount. People here are clearly abused and downtrodden, and it tells such a cool story, especially as you explore upward and you see the opulence of the higher areas. This does have a lot of like long corridors that don't loop that well around each other. There's actually especially an irritating area in the cauldron where you have to like
It's hard to even figure out how to get to the cauldron. It took me so long. I'm like, how do I get past this gate? Like, where's the path?
Yeah, exactly. There's like, you have to, every time you want to get around it, you have to like loop around the perimeter of the lava all rectangular room. But the cauldron itself is pretty cool. That's where you get the claw lines, the second best ability in the game probably. Yeah. Maybe tied with cling grip are really cool. Yeah, and it also has there's two secret entrances that you can get to instead of using the Grim Gate, which ups it even further. This is another A tier for me, above Blasted Steps.
Dang, above Blasted Steps. I really liked the zone too. I thought it was super cool. I think it is an A zone, but it's bottom A for me because really the biggest issue is I loved everything about it. I just wish there was more connectivity throughout the zone where I could more easily get in between areas. It felt like it was cool the first time, but after I had cleared the whole zone, why am I not able just to go back a little bit easier and just go back to the part that I'm trying to get to? I tried to get back to the cauldron at one point, and I like literally was like, how did I get there last time? I can't remember. And I'm running around for like an hour, like, where the heck is the freaking entrance? So it's one of those things where it provided me a little bit more frustration than I would have liked on my every time I had to go back to that zone, which made me not want to go back as much.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I pretty much avoided it once I found the thing from it, but the first experience going through it's really cool.
I only had to go back there because I was going for the 100% at the end because I got so close, and I'm like, oh crap, I have to go back to the Underworks.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason I had to go back. We also meet the architect.
Yep, and I went back a few times for the architect specifically, but other than that, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I do see what you're saying. It is very annoying to go through on multiple attempts, but I don't think you have to do it that much, so it's not quite as irritating as it is to me in other areas.
That's fair.
But I think you make a good point. I think because of that, I'll put the Underworks under Farfields.
Okay. Drop it down a couple. Next up, we have the Choral Chambers. What did you think?
This area's, I think this is S tier.
I'm in agreement with that. I loved this zone. This was like one of my favorite zones in the game. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah, aesthetically it's great. The music's great. The enemies, aside from the fly away from you, are pretty good. There's a lot of, you have interesting platforming.
The platforming I like how they are super fun in this one, I think. Somewhat annoying and frustrating, but fun. I enjoyed them. I liked using the claw line to get to use the gears or whatever that bring you up the Choral Chambers and up towards, the high halls and stuff.
Yeah, and like there are like long hallways, but it doesn't take very long to get through them because they don't have like the same like rigorous platforming challenges that Underworks or some areas have. And there's enemies that you can't just run by. There probably could be a little bit more interconnectivity. I really enjoyed this zone anyway.
Yeah, the zone is huge though. Choral Chambers is a really large zone, but there's a lot of cool things to find. Like when I found the spa behind the wall, I was like, this is the coolest thing.
Oh yeah, I thought the big wheel that you can turn to access parts of the zone really cool too.
Yep.
The spa is really cool. It connects to a bunch of the other zones. It almost feels more like the hub area for this second act. Really like this one.
100% agree. It felt like the zone that you wanted to be in and stay in throughout a lot of the game. In fact, I think I did end up using this as kind of my main hub for most of the playthrough because it had, I think, like one of the best subway stations or whatever, the Belby stations.
Yeah, it did. And the fact that it's odd because it feels like the game gets a little bit more convenient once you get here because you have the things that like the elevator shaft things that take you to different parts of the zones. Yeah, really sick.
Yeah, absolutely. So after that, we're going to another one of my favorites, Cogwork Core. How did you feel about Cogwork Core?
Really, really enjoyed this one. The platforming challenge is pretty hard. It's kind of like the white powder of this game, I would say. The music is, I love Clockwork and Gear levels. So and the music was sick. The enemies were flavorful. The only thing that I think sucks is that once you get to the top, the only way to get down is just to fall all the way back down. It's like, why did you design it like that?
Agreed. I spent a lot of time at the top being like, there's no way they're expecting me just to go back the same way I came, right? Like there's got to be some corridor or zone or secret wall that leads to a pit that lets me just drop back down. But no, that was annoying. So to me, this is right under Choral Chambers. This is an S tier zone for me. I love the music itself. I think puts it in S tier for me. But I really did enjoy all of the platforming to get all the way up there. Coming back down, I agree, it was pretty annoying. But other than that, like I thought overall the zone was just super cool. Where are you putting it?
Yeah, I put it at S under Choral Chambers as well.
After that, we're moving on to the Whispering Vaults. How did you feel about this area?
Actually, I think this place is pretty cool. I definitely got lost a lot, but it has a lot of intrigue. You meet the worm guy, where you hand the solemns to.
Yep.
You do have to like loop through here to get to the stage. It's one of the areas that actually connects to Whiteward as one of ways to get in here. Is
that a pro or a con?
Yeah, I guess it depends on your perspective. Probably, maybe just a con. I like it. Definitely unique. I would say like I don't think it's as good as. It's definitely worse than Choral Chambers and Cogwork Core. I'd probably put this in A under. Like I liked it, but
A under what?
Some of the enemy placement was annoying. Under Underworks. Sorry.
Underworks. Yeah, I think that's fair. To me, this is top of A. I really liked this, and this was actually one of the first areas that I found where I was like, oh, this is a good farming route for me at the time. So I used it pretty extensively to farm because of the way the enemies were laid out. I found it like convenient and semi-fun. I liked the enemies in there too, generally, and aesthetically it was cool. It had little puzzle type things where you could knock the boxes around, which I liked to get your different paths and get your different platformings going. So overall, I really enjoyed this zone. Next up, though, we have the Whiteward. What do you think about the Whiteward?
Aesthetics are like really, really great. There's a quest that you do here to help, forgetting his name, the cute little guy who sings and bangs his little bells.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Don't know why I'm forgetting his name, but I enjoyed it. It's not that interesting though overall. You do get the injector band here though, which is an insane tool.
Yeah, no, it's really good. You get some pretty good tools like, overall in Whiteward. It's got like a pretty healthy amount of things.
Yeah, I'd put this at the bottom of B. Like it's definitely aesthetically there, but it's not. There's not that much to it.
Yeah, to me, it is probably right under Weebness Outlaw for me. I think it's still B tier. I agree, but I liked it a little bit more. It had a lot of useful things to get there, so I spent a little bit of time there for sure. It's not a huge zone, but overall, just generally, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. And there were some tricks to getting around with like how the elevators worked and things, which I thought were kind of cool.
Oh, that's true. I actually forgot about the elevator part. That is a really cool little set piece to kind of navigate that.
Yeah. But up next, we're going to jail. How did you feel about the slab?
I guess there's two ways to get here. The one is much earlier, and you go to some part of Greymore, and one of the mosquitoes puts you in a cage and takes you there. I didn't stumble upon this naturally. I actually looked it up because I was I got so far in the game without finding a double jump, and I was like, "Is there a double jump in this game?" So I eventually looked it up, and that's when I got taken here.
That's funny.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I got trapped. And the funny thing is, like, I was like, did I really just lose to this stupid bug? I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And then I woke up naked. I was like, what the hell?
That's pretty funny. I wish I stumbled upon that naturally. I think that would have been a really cool experience. But
so were you not naked at all? Did you snap the neck of that one bug?
No, I was naked. Because I went to go get caught. I got here. Because I was trying to figure out how to get the double jump.
Okay. I get. So you have to get caught to get there.
Yeah, I would say this is a bottom of A area for me. Actually, I think the little like getting caught, like the story of it's really cute. It's fun. The area itself isn't that interesting, but I do like the different keys that you can find, add some mystery to the place. it is kind of just like one tall corridor with like different areas you can go to, but a lot of them don't intersect that much.
Yeah.
But I found going through it the first time pretty fun, and it's not that annoying of an area to get through actually.
See, I kind of did think it was annoying with the keys and like how it worked. I felt lost a lot of my playthrough there, so it was frustrating to me at first, but the cinematic of getting caught, waking up without your cloak and without your needle and just punching people was so funny to me. And then when you go and snap the other bug's neck, I'm like, this is incredible. So for that reason alone, it's going up to A. Otherwise, without that, like, this is a top C, bottom B area for me.
I agree with that. Like, the story of the area sells it hard.
Yeah. Moving on, though, straight from the slab, we got Mount Fay. I fucking hated this place the first time I went through it. This was
really liked
this was
it,
the
but I see
place
why you
that I
hated
was
it.
about to just quit the game. I was about to be like, I quit. Like this, I can't do it. The timer on how long it would take you to get frozen and die or get your mask, I was like, I hate this place so much. So after I got the cloak, it got significantly better. I was like, okay, not a time limit. I can just kind of go leisurely explore. I ended up liking it so much more. It was going to be a D tier for me, but afterwards, after doing the whole thing, I'm going up to B. Bottom of B for me. How did you feel?
I'd put this at the top of B. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. The only thing is that I didn't find some of the benches the first time, and I went here with a lack of rosaries, and you need the rosary for one of the benches. So that made like the first third of my experience quite tedious.
Yeah.
But once I kind of actually got to the
at first.
I enjoyed it, and I think I misspoke earlier. This is closer to the White Palace challenge probably than Cogwork Core is.
Oh yeah.
But I did enjoy it, and at least with this one, you can just jump all the way down if you want to, and you do get the double jump here. The first time I actually walked in here, I didn't realize that you could progress because of the freezing. I figured, oh, I'll probably just die before I get anywhere interesting.
Yeah.
But no, you're supposed to walk in. So I feel like that could have been telegraphed a little bit better. I feel like...
Yeah, the first time I went there, I
weird
didn't even
to-
have the claw line yet, I don't think. And then I was like, what the heck? Or I guess I was in the
Yeah.
slab, and I walked over. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not supposed to be there because I didn't have the claw line. And I was like, I don't know how to get up that one area, which obviously you can't without the claw line. So that was pretty well telegraphed for me.
Yeah, it's weird. So like my Metroid brain, there are like hot and cold areas in Metroid, and it's like it's signaling to you like you need to come back and get something for this. Like you can get through it, but for me that ingrained gaming knowledge was,
It's not going to be a good time.
yeah. I still keep it at the top of B though because I enjoyed the challenge, but I do agree that it had a lot of frustrating elements.
Yeah. Up next, we have the Memorium. What did you think about this place?
I was cool the first time I went. I don't remember it very well.
Honestly, there's not
So-
much to it. Like, I kept expecting there to be more there, and really there wasn't a whole lot of stuff. I kept expecting to love this place, but to me, it felt kind of boring.
Yeah, there's one memory locket, one flea, and one spool, and there's a lot of like hallways to traverse in it. Yeah, probably top of C for me.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting. I like it aesthetically. I like it like
Yeah, I
the
feel
narrative
the same
of the
way.
world. But, like it's cool. Like they have like this. You had like different zones from where you were in the previous game for Farloom. Not previous game, previous areas in the game, and like that was neat. But other than that, it's kind of whatever play experience.
Yeah, I feel very similarly. After that, we're going up to the High Halls. What'd you think about the High Halls? This is kind of like, to me, a little bit of an extension of Choral Chambers.
Yeah, I'd put this in A, probably above Underworks, under Farfield. Aesthetically, I really like it, but it's not. It also kind of feels like a mini like gauntlet challenge area. I think I hated the forum. Definitely the hardest battle room in the game, but oh my god, it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
But the platforming challenge with the spinning wheels and stuff was pretty fun. But I think there's not much to find here. There's just a wool fragment, a cogfly. I don't think the cogflies are... I know that it's a good tool, especially if you combine it with other things, but not that interesting.
Yeah.
The second Sentinel fight's kind of fun, but yeah, good area. But I feel like I'm making it sound like it's worse than an A, but like I just don't have that much to say about it because they're really frustrating parts. But like the primary area, just exploring and doing the platforming was very fun.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Getting up to the top for that spool fragment at the top of that tower was super frustrating for me the first time I did it. I don't know, like, I had such a hard time dealing with the enemies while you're also on the claw line and you're like rotating around, and those guys just really were giving me a lot of problems. It was still fun. I liked the platforming challenge. So to me, this is a... I'm going to go bottom of A, I guess, for me. I didn't love it. Actually, it's probably better. It's probably better than the slab. But it was good, and I like the platforming. The first time I did the forum, I went through it. I got to the final 2 bosses, and I was like, oh, get out. I had like one mask, no silk, and I'm like, oh shit. I couldn't believe there was another phase. After every phase, I'm like, how are we still going? Like,
yeah, it's really...
It felt like a pantheon.
Like, yeah, it was really hard. It took me... I was there for a long time. The hand cramping was real. And now that we're like talking about it, I feel like maybe you should put yours first, because when you start giving explanation, I'm like, no, you're right. I think this is above the slab at the bottom of A. It's getting carried for me in my mind because it just feels like part of the Choral Chambers.
Yeah, it does have a lot of similar aspects to Choral Chambers, so I do like it. I just don't think it's as good, and I don't think it's just quite as cohesive as the Choral Chambers is. And also, the Choral Chambers is huge, so there's like a ridiculous amount to explore there.
Yeah.
After that, though, we have the Sands of Karak. How did you feel about this one?
This is a top of... Oh, no. Honestly, probably just above the Whiteward in B.
Yeah,
I like this area aesthetically, but the bench placement I think is kind of obnoxious, and like there's a lot of the destructible objects. I guess maybe the coral.
Yeah.
The spiky coral, and a lot of the time it doesn't lead you anywhere, so it feels like there's more things to find in this zone. And I found like the Volt Nest boss is pointless. It also has the worst Act 3 boss.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The bench that you find that takes you to a shortcut to the Grand Gate is really mean, because you're not going to find that on your first playthrough, and even if you know about it, it's hard to get to. Like it basically serves no purpose.
Getting to this area was so annoying to me. That was one of the worst parts of the area, was just getting to it, and I was like, oh my god, going through the blasted steps to get there was so annoying, and I just didn't enjoy that aspect at all.
It's forever really before you get a bench too.
Yeah,
it's really obnoxious. Like,
it's super long. The thing is, I feel like if there was maybe one more bench halfway through all that platforming section, I would have loved this area, because I actually thought the platforming was really fun. I liked the way when you hit the ball, the coral came out, and you had like essentially a little clock where you had to get it in a certain time, otherwise your platforms would fall. I thought that was really cool. It worked super well and made you feel really good when you hit like every wall that you were supposed to and you were flying through it. So I thought that was cool. So the vibe of the area I really liked, but the bosses I thought were like, yeah, the Act 3 boss was my least favorite of the Act 3 bosses probably, and the bench placement sucked. Once you got the shortcut, it got significantly better though, once you had that shortcut to the Grand Gate. But overall, I'm in agreement. It's a B for me as well. Which it's funny because Hunter's March and Sands of Karak are kind of similar, because they're both teaching you of like how to platform in a sense. So it's kind of funny that they made their
like long stretches with no bench.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like super hard, but it's like it's a little obnoxious, and
it's hard enough and challenging enough and long enough that once you die, you're like, ah, shit, I gotta go all the way back, and that's what's frustrating about it.
Now that we're like pretty far into this now, and this is actually a really good example, is my possibly hot take with this entire game is that as soon as you get to a new area, there should be a bench. Like the idea that like you work really hard, oh cool, you discover this new place, and then you die instantly. Oh. It's deflating. It makes discovery not as exciting of an experience when you can just die any second. It makes it more tense.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you want to get to a new place and you like want to explore, but kind of discourages that. I don't know.
Yeah, it does for sure. It is very disheartening when you get to a new area that you're like really interested in exploring and getting further, and then you die and you're like back in the previous zone, not even really close to the entrance of the one you just found. So You have to go all the way through your current zone to get back to the new zone to hopefully find a bench a little further up.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I died too, I died like probably like 1 or 2 jumps away from a fucking bench.
Yeah, that seemed to happen a lot. I just feel like this game could have an extra bench in every zone and it would just be a better experience.
Yeah, for sure. After that, though, we are going to the Wisp Thicket. Now, this zone, I think, is so cool, but it's so small, and there's not much to it. I think if this was a zone, like a real zone in itself that had a lot of exploration potential, it would be a top-tier zone just because of the whole aesthetic. It almost felt like a completely different vibe than the rest of the game, I felt. But because it was so small and there wasn't a lot to it, and the boss in there was pretty lame, I don't think I can rate it that highly. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. To me, this is like bottom of C. The aesthetic is really cool. I was so excited when I got here, and then you find out it's just like a little bit.
It's like one path. It's kind of hard to get to it too. Like the platforming to get there isn't particularly easy.
Yeah, you have to climb all the way up to one of the tops of Greymore, and it's very obtuse to find because it's kind of hidden too.
Yeah.
But it's cool because there's a connection to Underworks. The aesthetic is cool. The enemies, the fire, I found really annoying before, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Before you got the what? The magma bell?
The magma bell, and figuring out how the AI of the fire things works. You could just
because
like,
you're just jumping, dodging,
around
anticipating it going after you, but
yeah,
you have to learn that. Oh no, you just gotta wait till they like turn red or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah. And I suck at that, as we've established. So
I'm in agreement with you. I think probably bottom of C. Just there wasn't a lot to it. It could have been really fun, and I feel like they could expand on that a bit. But as it is, not that great. After that, we are moving over to the Putrified Ducts.
Yeah, to me, this is the worst area in the game. It feels like pointless. There's not a lot of interesting things to do. Like the coolest thing you find is the long claw.
The getting back to the Bell Beast is horrendous.
Yeah, it sucks. You have to come here for the long claw because it's a good ability. And the Wreath of Purity is all the way in here. Getting the Wreath of Purity this late, like after I'd already done so much exploring of Biowater, is just like
slap in the face.
Really mean. Yeah, I didn't like that. I do like Fleetopia. I actually enjoyed the challenges there.
You're
I
crazy.
really count that as part of Putrified Ducts, but some of them were really annoying. But they didn't take me as long as I thought they would. And the Pale Lake is very pretty, but yeah, Putrified Ducts sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's the worst. I think to me it's better than Sinner's Road and Biowater, but it's a D tier for me because it's
just because it's short.
It is short. But I did hate getting back to the Bell Beast whenever I wanted to like teleport anywhere. It was such a complicated area to get through where on the map it looks so simple, but in practice it's so annoying. And everything you have to do, and if you like to do the shortcuts and things where you have the little monsters grab you and pull you up, it's so long, it takes forever, it's not very fun, it's not even that hard, but just did not like that.
It's annoying. Didn't like any of the gimmicks of the area. The vines that like pull you up, like that's a cool idea in concept, but again they make it gross and they make me not like it. And the mosquito enemies are like the worst. I hate those. The
mosquito enemies and those big enemies too that like run after you. That was like, you know what they were doing when you're running across the area. Like I was trying to get across it as fast as I could. And those big leaf monster looking things, garbage monsters, try to eat you. But then if you're trying to just pass it, you run directly into one of those guys that eat you. And then you get hit by that and the big monster. I don't know if you know what the part I'm talking about, but it's...
No, yeah, no, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. It sucks too, because you get here through the Memorium and you're like, oh, place, and then it's this.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a fun place to be for sure.
Yeah, here's more dirty water and gross enemies.
The lake felt like an area where you were supposed to get the Hollow Knight dash, you know, like where you just like the crystal dash or whatever.
You get an iframe, or that makes sense. Yeah, that's where I thought I was. Oh, it's like nah, I have an annoying time traversing through it, which was every time.
Yeah. After that though, we're going to the Cradle. Is this a zone?
It's the whole like platforming challenge.
Yes. Actually, I enjoyed the platforming challenge. I know a lot of people hated it, but I thought it was kind of fun.
I did like it too. The worms were a little annoying.
Well, they were there because they would allow you to farm silk.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it, like they were necessary. I had, once you get the ability that lets you stick on the wall, then you could just like sit there and farm a little bit of silk if you ever got hit once or twice or whatever, a couple dozen times. It took me a while, but overall, I did enjoy the challenge. To me, this was a platforming section that I liked significantly more than Mount Faye. To me, this, like, I like this, honestly, like, I'm gonna put it all the way above Whiteward. I really enjoyed this challenge, and then by the time you got all the way to the top, the thing that would have really sucked about this though is if you didn't have the mission yet and you got all the way up to the top and then you found the mushroom dude after that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they don't make you do the platforming challenges to get from Lace to Grandmother Silk.
Yeah, I'm very glad they didn't.
Because I think you skipped that the first time, and then the second time through you have to platform your way up, and then you find the whole top area, which isn't even listed here.
Yep.
I would also put Cradle on high B, probably right under Mount Faye. Mount Faye, you get a better reward, so...
That's true. There is more to Mount Faye, for sure. You get a lot more.
Yeah, but Mount Faye is definitely more frustrating. I just think, like, aesthetically it's more compelling, and the platforming is about as good.
I thought the Cradle was harder, probably, but less frustrating for me.
I agree with that a lot, actually. I kind of wish the freezing component wasn't there in Mount Faye.
I know.
Mount Faye might be A for me if the wasn't there, which is, I know, is a big part of it, so it's kind of hard to... It seems weird to say that, but I feel like getting you can survive hot or cold areas for that would
You know what
cool.
would have been cool, I think, is if Mount Faye, like, they could still have the freezing effect and stuff, but if it didn't just straight up kill you. Like, if it just, like, made you super sluggish and slow and, like, there was, like, a negative effect so that would make it nearly impossible to platform with the debuff, but, like, didn't actively kill you.
That might be more annoying, because then you have to go kill yourself to get to a warm area.
Kill yourself. Yeah, it could be, possibly so. All I know is I didn't like it at all. After that, though, this is kind of like a secret-ish zone, but we had Verdania. How did you feel about this place?
I enjoyed, like, the puzzle element of it, I think, and I enjoyed...
I, like, really wanted to like it.
Yeah, I know, because it's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's the prettiest zone in the game for sure, but, like, both fights in here are pretty disappointing, and
there's no bench.
There's no bench. I mentioned this last time. I don't know if there's a map or not. Like, I could see that there's a map on the interactive, but I never found the map.
I can't remember where I got it, but honestly, it didn't even really make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty intuitive to go through because it's fairly linear and it kind of guides you. But it did have some really annoying enemies too.
Oh my god,
it's one of those ones.
The teleporting ones.
There were those enemies again that the game like. It's like wait for them to animate.
Sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say?
They were a huge symptom of that like type of enemy where it's like wait for them to do their anime move and then you can attack them. It's just a lot of waiting. Yeah, I don't like that.
Absolutely.
This area is a C for me, above Wisp Thicket and Wormways probably, but actually under Wormways I think I had more fun. Even though Verdania is like S tier in the aesthetics, but
yeah,
the gameplay's not.
I'm with you. To me, I don't even like. I like Wisp Thicket even more than that. Just it looks so good, but it's not fun. Like I didn't really enjoy any of the enemies really in it.
Yeah.
But we are at the final zone in the game, which is the Abyss. How did you feel about the Abyss?
Aesthetically, it's really cool. I feel like in Hollow Knight, there was at least some justification for an area that was similar to the Abyss for being the way that it was, in that there wasn't much going on, and there's not that much going on in the Abyss. And I find getting out of the Abyss really annoying.
It's the worst zone to get out of, hands down. I hate getting out of this zone. When I was down there and going to film more content, I loaded my game up and I was like, oh shit, I'm in the Abyss.
It's like literally you're playing a game to have a good time, and then you have to do the Abyss, and you're like,
yeah.
Like this is probably top of D for me.
Yeah.
Like, Lace Fight is great. The enemies are creepy. The leeches. Like I didn't have a problem with the enemies, but like getting through the zone, it's just like long corridors and getting out.
And other than like the final boss and such, like there wasn't a lot there.
No, it's a lot of just like running in darkness. Not big on this. I think that this could have been a lot more. It seems odd to me that this place wasn't like a complex navigation.
Yeah. It seems half-assed, doesn't
platforming puzzle. Yeah, and I don't think it is. I think this is probably what they wanted it to be. They had no time limit on this game. I don't really vibe with that decision, I guess.
Yeah.
I think as like a culmination as the hardest boss fight.
Yeah.
Like, why does it... I feel like there should be more navigation, more stuff to find. There's nothing to find here.
Yeah. There's really almost nothing down here worth even being down there for. So exploration isn't very fun. And maybe it would have worked better if you only went down there once, but you had to go down there twice. And I was like, why did I have to...
Oh, yeah,
Like, I think if it was just kind of felt... Yeah, but if it, like, felt like a final boss where it's just, like, basically the corridor leading to the boss, I feel like maybe it felt better. But because it felt like it was supposed to be a zone, it just felt like a crappy zone.
Yeah, I agree. It just feels like there's not enough here, and it could have been so much more. There's, like, some lore stuff you can find, but I don't know that there's much else.
Yeah, for sure. But overall, what do you think? Have any last thoughts about all the zones in the game?
It's kind of unfortunate that a lot of the like totally optional zones and some of the later area ones are some of the worst, like Verdania, Wisp Thicket, Wormways, the Abyss.
Yeah.
I guess technically the Mist is optional, but probably not for most people.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, really happy overall with the game. I think there really needed to be more connecting pathways, and I think this is almost true from the start. After the Marrow, like, there just needs to be more intersecting. Like, you had to retread a lot of the same ground, which, again, I understand is like part of playing a Metroidvania, but the issue with that is that, like, you're going through, like, fairly challenging enemy encounters and platforming challenges over and over. Eventually you get really good at them, but with how much this game asks you to backtrack, especially earlier on, and maybe some people are improving faster than I did, but I felt like that was a lot. That can make the game feel exhausting, despite the fact that this is a huge game and there's a lot going for it. Overall, still very happy with it, but I think it has some issues.
Yeah, completely agree with that statement. I thought overall I loved the game. I just wish there was more connecting areas so that you didn't have to fight so many of the same enemies. A lot of times, if I'm really in a hurry, I would just run back as fast as I could. I knew I was going to take a few hits, but I would just keep going. Like, I wouldn't even turn around to give those enemies any attention. I'm like, it's fine. I'm going to pass a bench here soon, so, like, whatever. Overall, I did love the game. There were some great zones, and even the C zones here I thought were still pretty solid for the most part. Obviously the B, A, S, those are all great. So I really enjoyed exploring all of these zones, and overall just a great game. So let us know, what was your S tier zone? What was your D tier zone? This is Keeks and Ben, and we will catch you all next time for some more Silksong content if we can think of something else to do.
I was thinking maybe like a full enemy ranking, but I was like, too long. There's like 200 enemies in the game.
There's a lot of enemies.